All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. Let me turn this down. And I say podcast because there are other mediums. There's the blog, which you are going to want to go to the blog on this one. Okay, so the blog can be found at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Plus, wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a more, especially on YouTube, it's more info, intro, description, something like that. If you click that, then there'll be a link to the video, a link to the blog there. All right. So, what else? There's a transcript. RSS.com has a transcript. It's a pretty good one, way better than YouTube's. For those of you who cannot understand me, Spotify.com has audio and video there. Apple Podcasts were there. Just a lot of places. My FX Buddies, that's where we are. Okay, I'm forgetting something. Well, because I don't need to say that anymore because I'm uploading the video to YouTube. Rumble. Rumble, shout out to the Rumblers. My FX buddies there also. All right, so we're going to get to it. This one's going to be long. I apologize. I was trying to do the video. It's been 4, maybe 5 days. So some of the stuff I was going to cover is obsolete now or whatever. But it was mostly about what was going on. The kablooies that were in Ice Cream Land and Lebanon and other places, right? So, and I'm sure you could find, if you want to see all that, you could see all that on your news. So we're skipping that, and I'm just going to get into some pretty good articles, despite that conflict, which we know, or excuse me, I believe, is holding up things. But however, I'm still my January timeline, and what have I always said? It was geopolitical. There's other things too, our elections, but this is the geopolitical, the conflict, which really we should use a 3-letter word there, but they don't. The little spiders that go through and decide if your video is bad or good, they don't like that word. All right, so, and then I'm having technical difficulties. So through this video, I'm going to jump around and you'll see why. Okay, so this is the title. Iraq launches financial transfers in euros. This is good news. But let me show you. Okay, I did a video. There was a newscast. I'm going to call it a newscast. And it's called, What If 1,000 Dinars Became 1 Dinar? The project to remove zeros from the currency raises questions. But I didn't know how to put, oh, I put the wrong link. Look at that. Okay. But anyway, so this is the video that I did on YouTube because I translated it and then I had some comments about the video. So that's, if you want to watch my video and hear what I had to say about it, that's there. Basically, oh, I know why. The transcript, because it's done by YouTube, it's screwy. Some of the words are backwards, like this right here. The goals of deleting are linked zeros with reforms economically. How this should read, the goals of deleting zeros are linked with economic reforms. That's how that should read. So this is the transcript of the video that's in Arabic. This is the original video that I would like for you to watch. Look at all those dinar, because it shows you the people, the modernness, the office that they work in. They interview an economist, and then towards the end, and it's a short video. It's a minute and 40 seconds. So it's made, in my opinion, just from my experience of watching their videos, it wasn't a snippet of a show. It was made, even if maybe we don't understand the words that it's saying because there's, you know, this translation is funky. The citizens know. The citizens can see that. They can hear all the people. They can hear the host of the video. They can hear the economist, and they can hear the cryptocurrency specialist. Yes, the guy at the end. That's his title. He's a cryptocurrency specialist, and he talks about something. So this is at the very bottom because I know some of you have been waiting. All right. So I'll have to correct that. I'll put the link. Well, actually, I don't need to, because if you go to the video, it's going to say watch on YouTube, and then you could click there if you want to share, because there may be people you want to share the video with. I mean, you could have them go to the blog, but I know some people don't like that. Then if you go watch on YouTube, it'll give you the link. All right, problem solved there. Okay, so this is the issue, the technological issue that I'm having. See this? There's a whole bunch of articles that are not showing here, and I don't know how to fix this. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But for the video, I have a fix. All right, so Iraq launches financial transfers in euros. There is, this is like a watered down article. The Central Bank of Iraq launched its financial transfers to Turkey in the euro currency. So you could read this, but there's an even better one. This is a new mechanism. So this is new. But I know they've worked with euros before in Iraq because the citizens were able to Western Union euros. So Turkey has brought on some of their banks. A delegation of representatives of Turkish banks operating in Iraq. So these banks, they're doing two things. They're alleviating some of the pressure from the dollar. They're using, and we're going to have some articles about the dollar because the dollar is almost to 1,600 dinars per dollar. And it's mostly because of the conflict, right? But also there's some other reasons, and we're going to get to that also. So they had a meeting, Anil Alaq and these bankers, these Turkish bankers, had a meeting, and then there's other stuff. So it's on the CBI. It's on the CBI website. All right, but let me do these older articles first. So here, they had a World Investor Day, and they are keeping it very secret. See this? World Investor Day conference. It was in Baghdad, but this is the only picture. And then there's one other gentleman that they interviewed, and they'll show him. They don't say who's there. They don't show the room. Like, if you've watched my videos, I usually will show you the room full of people, and I'll comment about the chairs and the carpet on the floor. Nope, none of that. But government committed to opening new horizons for partnership with investors. So this is from 2 or 3 days. So global experiences have proven that investments are not only an engine for growth, also a means, but also a means to develop infrastructure, create jobs, and enhance transparency and efficiency in resource management. The Securities Commission is a vital partner in achieving these goals as it works to regulate markets and enhance their protection. So there's some really good articles about the ISX and this Securities Commission also that's coming up. So here, let's see. This is Ali Nabil Ali. He's an economic expert. Haven't heard from him in a while, but he says the government should stop importing Iranian goods, not tighten the dollar. So he's one person here. The dollar was 1,520 dinars per dollar. And so he came out and said, you know what, we should stop importing items from Iran. Not the food. I guess they get quite a bit of food imported from Iran. Not the food items, but there's several other items they could stop importing and instead of tightening the dollar. So the dollar that he talks about the exchange offices of where they sell the dollar. And I know it's confusing. It confuses me. I thought they weren't supposed to use the dollar, right? January 1st, 2024, de-dollarization, but apparently not. That's my phone. So yeah, okay. So this is pretty lengthy, but it's an easy read. And I like that not only does he's not only complaining about the dollar going up, he also gives suggestions on how to keep it from going up. All right. Parliamentary finance. Oh yeah, so it's time for them to do the 2025 budget. Well, we know they've already done the 2025 budget, right? But they have to make adjustments, amendments, all of that. Is this There's a couple of articles about this, but there's one of them. One of the guys says, will this just be pledges or actual actions? But it's not this one. So we already know they did the 2025 budget because they did the tripartite budget, right? 2023, 2024, 2025. But they have to present a version, what is it? A general draft budget to the House of Representatives so they can vote. And October 15th is the date that's in the Constitution. But you can see here now the committee will begin discussing the 2025 budget schedules in early November. They still don't have the 2024 budget. And is this the one? No, this isn't the one. But they have done two more gazettes. So now they're up to, is it here? Yeah. Now they're up to 4795 and 4794. And neither of those are, they don't have anything to do with the budget schedules. So we're still waiting for that. All right, here's another good article where they're talking about Article 140, which is the money. They're working to activate Article 140 to serve the disputed areas. And what that is money to certain people and land to certain people, and some of them will get both. But it's nice when they talk about it because lots of people believe they can't fully uh, reveal Article 140 without the rate, right? And it does seem like every time we're expecting them to change the rate, articles about Article 140 being completed comes out. Now this was something. If you go to the CBI website, it says verification procedures, and that's it. So I'm like, what is that, right? And they made a change. They are foregoing the 1 month period that's required for banks to open accounts, certain accounts with other company banks. So I think this is forward movement, getting them off of the system where they have to go through the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. So that was interesting. And they just quietly did that, right? All right. World Bank. Iraq has taken steps to develop human capital, which is people, I mean, here in America, they say human resources. But see, that's what these 1% of the 1%, that's what they see us as. Resources, just resources to be used however they want, right? It's anyway, and the timing and focus shown by the Iraqi government in this area will lead to the development of human capital and will continue at an accelerating pace in the coming days. So they're doing they're doing training in planning, health, and labor, amongst others. But that's what this article focuses on. Okay, here's they're still scaring the people because oil was going down, right? So this economist comes out and says, what are the options if oil continues to go down? Will you get your salary? And of course, government advisor Mohammed Saleh, he comes right out and says, do not worry about the current fluctuations in money, gold, or various foreign currencies because we got it. We got gold, we got foreign currency. We are following investment guidelines that are adopted by the Monetary Authority in high-level technical cooperation with multilateral international financial organizations, specifically the IMF and the World Bank. So he has to constantly remind the people, your salaries are safe. We are strong. All right. Now, this is interesting. Robert Kiyosaki warns investors after unusual Iraqi dinar pitch. Even if it's Jesus, be careful. So you might want to go to the blog and there's the link and read this, but only read it if you are not easily swayed. So I find it very interesting. And someone who used to be a trainer for the Kiyosaki group, I think, or whatever, told me that um, Robert Kiyosaki will sometimes let people use his name. So this article could have been written by someone that is licensed, approved, whatever, to use his name. Because I'm like, we know Orange Man Bad, right? If you know who that is, has a lot. Well, that's the rumor in Dinar Land, right? That he has a lot of dinar. And if you didn't know, Robert Kiyosaki and Orange Man Bad are really good friends. He brags about it all the time. So you're not going to tell me your billionaire buddy owns Iraqi dinar and you don't own any? I'm not buying that. But anyway, so he just goes on to say, and then it turns out to be a friend of his was approached to invest in Iraqi dinars. The pitch with the P as in Paul, ITCH, however, was peculiar. According to Kiyosaki, the person promoting the investment claimed that Jesus told me to tell everyone that Iraqi dinars are safest and the best. Kiyosaki humorously responded, being the wise butt that I am, I jokingly replied, I never said that. So he's joking that he's Jesus. I didn't catch that. Someone had to point it out to me. I told y'all I have reading comprehension issues. So there's more to this article. It's longer if you want to read it, but that's all they reference regarding the dinar. And then today, another one comes out. I guess I should put the link, but I'm not going to cover this one because it's the same thing, but this is clearly written by a person who has read the article or the tweet, saw the tweet, because he tweeted. Yes, I still say tweet. And it prompted him to write an article. And here's the title of the article. Rich Dad R. Kiyosaki reveals which investment is recommended by Jesus himself. And it is, where's here, the Iraqi dinars. So, of course, they're laughing and making it seem, they even use the word weird. But I just find it interesting that these articles are coming out now when some people are expecting the RV to happen any day. And then earlier in the month, there were a couple of other fraud articles. Well, earlier in September, there were a couple of fraud articles out. And they do that. In the past, they've done that. They'll put out these articles. So if someone hears a good report about the dinar, then they go do Google searches, and what it comes up, scam, 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 right? So then they don't buy any. So yeah, so I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was interesting. And plus, reading all this stuff is so boring, right? Okay, what time is it? 20. We're at 20 minutes. 20 minutos. Okay, so here we're, here's the guy. Who is this guy? He's the chairman of the, I think he's the chairman of the uh, Parliamentary Finance Committee, but whatever. Here's what he says. Iraq's 2025 budget. Will the government deliver on its promises amid growing crises? So somewhere in here he says, will they just make pledges or will it happen? Will they make the budget happen? All right. So here's another person. Parallel market dollar fluctuations are not cause for concern. It will decline again soon. All right. Now here, Iraq warns Forex companies over dollar dinar commissions. So I thought that was interesting. Here's about the chairman of the Securities Commission. There's his name. This is their value. 9 American and Asian investment funds trade in the Iraqi market. Did you know that? I did not know that. And again, World Investor Day Conference. But look, they're not really showing, there he is. And there's like a handful of people, but it doesn't say who was invited or whatever. So, he wants to, oh, this isn't the one, but he wants to increase the amount of stockbrokers by 500% and something else. Maybe it's in this one. Here he said, his name is, expects lifting of sanctions on Iraq banks because no violations have been proven. Mm-hmm. Good try on that. Here, the commission aims to increase the number of stock traders by 500%. And then there's something about money. The number of investors to 5 times their current number. So there's about 40,000 investors. He wants 5 times that during the next 2 years. So he has some pretty ambitious goals for the ISX, and I like that. All right, here. Okay, you're not going to see this on the news. I'm not going to talk about this. I want you to read this. Whatever you're doing, look at your phone, look at the computer, whatever, and read this. This is a guy. Here's his name. But no, sorry. That's the one they got rid of. This is his name. He's the commander of see that country right there? Air Force. This is his name. And this is what I want you to read what he says. All right. Okay, so there's the video. All right, so we're done with this. So now, I think I had decided, I'm going to try to show you this here. Okay, so total of 140 days. That's how many holidays Iraq has. And they recognize it costs them money. But they're not going to do anything about it. Today's a holiday, but they're not celebrating in because of what's going on in, I almost said it. Okay, the two, okay, I'll say Lebanon. So, there's destruction and loss of life in Lebanon. And then Pizza Land. And look, he is so into caring about them. That's the wrong one. He being Sadani. Sadani is so into caring about the brothers and sisters there. He has opened 2 accounts that the citizens of Iraq can give money to. So, and I would imagine maybe anyone, but look, they put the IBAN numbers. So, yeah. So I guess maybe you have to be in Iraq to use those numbers. I don't know. But, and then this is all Arabic, but it's saying because of what's going on and the devastation and da 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 da. Actually, the Council of Ministers members are they're donating part of their salary. They all came together and decided to donate part of their salary. But you know, they're rich. If not rich, they're well-to-do, so they can do that, right? But yeah, so I wanted to see that. I'm not gonna translate that or whatever, but here you can see it's the Trade Bank of Iraq that it's going through. So that's how serious he is about being dedicated and feeling the suffering with them. So, um, even though today's a holiday, he decreed that there would be no celebrations. So they're still recognizing International Day, Iraq's International or Independence Day, one of the two, but no celebrations. This is our buddy here, Nuri Maliki, and look what he's doing. He's urging militias to join the fight against Ice Cream Land. Of course he is, right? I mean, he did a speech on TV and everything. Okay, let's see, why aren't you moving? So here, Iraq and the United States stress the need for a ceasefire in the region. And remember this lady? You probably don't, but her name is Barbara Leaf. She doesn't go, or if she goes to Iraq that much, they don't put it in the news. But here's her name. See her name right there? Barbara Leaf. She's back. All right. And this is Fawad Hussein. And then there's some other people in the room too, but that's the foreign minister. And then they did it. Okay. This I'm really excited about. This article right here, I really like. $3 million allocated to upgrade Iraqi stock exchange. And it's just 2 sentences. And in my experience with these articles, little tiny articles like this have big impact. So I'll read it. As part of its financial reform efforts, Iraq's cabinet has approved the allocation of 4 billion dinars, then it says $3 million, to the Iraqi Securities Commission for the modernization and maintenance of electronic systems used for stock and bond trading. The project, exempted from standard government contract procedures, now that sounds a little shady to me, but whatever, will be executed in partnership with the U.S. company NASDAQ OMX. And for those of you who remember, back in 2018 or 2019, it was International Women's Day. And the NASDAQ screen, the big one in Times Square, said, we congratulate Iraq on International Women's Day. And we were like, they don't even care about women like that. Why would they announce that, right? But that was years ago when we didn't know things that we know now, right? But so we thought it was code. Well, they did connect. They did connect the ISX to the NASDAQ. And those of us who wear dinar goggles, we thought for sure that meant the following week the RV was going to happen. But here we are, 2024, still waiting. Okay, here's another economist identifies reasons for the rise of the dollar in Iraq and expect it to exceed. Okay, I know this says 160,000, but that's per $100. So to make the number smaller, we knock off two zeros. That becomes $1, and then this becomes 1,600. And it does have a good chance this weekend. It has a good chance of continuing to rise until it reaches 1,600 dinars in the coming period, and I'll tell you why. There's no auctions. There was no auction today because today's a holiday. So Friday, there's no auctions. Saturday, no auctions. Sunday, if there's no kablooies, Sunday may be a regular day and they may have an auction. Then the dollar price will start to go down. But until then, it won't. And I'll show you why I'm saying if there's no kablooies. So also in this thing here, look at this. City pilot. And city is written like Citibank, CITI. So I'll just read this because now we're at 31. Okay. This person attributed the increase to the decline in remittances of other currencies, especially the dirham and the Chinese yuan, as a result of large restrictions imposed by correspondent banks that are carrying out the process of strengthening the balances of these currencies, in addition to the reluctance of banks included in the City Pilot Project. What the heck is that? Have you heard of that? I never heard of that. So I'm going to try to look that up later today. And then there's other stuff. So these are things they could do. And actually, this is not just some Yahoo off the street. I shouldn't say that. I apologize. I apologize to all the Yahoos that may be listening. Um, he is he works for this Foundation of Economic Studies and Consultants and blah blah blah. So he's smart, right? He knows about stuff. So he gives reasons and suggestions. All right. Okay, let's move on. We already talked about this. Oh no, I don't think I did. Iraq informs the United States of the imminent start of negotiations with Kuwait. I thought they already did this, but maybe it got interrupted for some reason, and they're going to start again. So I think that might be good because Kuwait may be saying, hey, I know you're about to change their value. Don't forget, it has to be within a quarter. And then here they talk about what are we going to do about these Houthis? Baghdad and Washington discussed the need to protect sea lanes to ensure the export of Iraqi oil. And there they are talking. And later, guess what we did? We put sanctions on one entity and 3 individuals. But like it's really gonna make a difference. I don't know. We'll see. So there's that. And then there they are, same 2 people, also discussing enhancing joint cooperation in the fields of energy, oil, and economy. All right. So let's see. In less than half an hour, well, the last good message that Iran put out was, we're done. You hit us, we hit you. We're done. Unless you hit us again. Right? So that was that. That was maybe 2 days ago. In less than half an hour, Washington sends 3 messages via Baghdad to Tehran, and mostly the messages are, do not attack our military bases. So Oh, here. This is the good article about the Turkish banks. The governor of the central bank receives the Turkish ambassador and representatives of Turkish bank branches in Iraq. So let's see. This isn't cooperating. And look, I made some things blue. You should read those. So this is a launch. This is a new mechanism. It's being implemented for the first time. It will simplify trade coverage operations with high fluidity and speed. But another thing that's good, this will take pressure off the dollar. So this will also help the dollar rate go down, right? So if you want to read that. The World Bank has another positive statement about Iraq. That's two in 2 days. The World Bank, Iraq has made progress in improving the business environment, making it globally competitive. Woohoo, we like that. Look at this. I never saw this before either. The Ministry of Finance said in a statement received by the news agency, the World Bank issued the Business Ready 2024 Be Ready report. And I'm like, has someone been listening to a certain radio broadcast show that says if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So be ready, right? That was my immediate thought. But yeah, so then there's some stuff here. That's a pretty good article you should read also. And here we go. Iran declares end of restraint, sends warning message to Washington. So I'm not going to read this, but this is on the blog. Matter of fact, here, if you pause the screen, there's the whole article in its entirety. You can read it right there. And that's why I said if there's no kablooies that go off over the weekend, then we're good to go. This is a repeat. I'll have to cut that out. And I think this is the last article. Yes. This is the last article. This guy, it says Al-Houthi, but I don't think that's his name, but whatever, hints at a high escalation in the operations of the Iraqi resistance soon, and announces targeting 188 ships. So that's not good. And they're in Iraq. See that? This word here, resistance in Iraq. So when they fire, whatever they fire, drone swarms or missiles or other things, they fire them out of Iraq. So that's not good. Alrighty. So I'm going to have to figure out how to fix this and get all of these articles on this one page. So I told you it was long, but it was good. Wasn't it good? And then we had the little stuff about Robert Kiyosaki. So yeah. So I don't know. So this is Thursday. It's Thursday, October 3rd, 2024. My best friend who is in heaven, it's her birthday today. Just shouting out to her that I have not forgotten her. She's still in my heart. All right. Yeah, so thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. And I hope with all the negative stuff, there's still good things going on. And Iraq is trying to do everything they can. And they're still moving forward in every area that they can. So we have much to be positive about, I feel. And I hope you can see that. So thank you for listening or watching. If there's a join, follow, subscribe, whatever type button, wherever you are enjoying this content, take whatever steps are necessary to activate that button because I don't update regularly. So if all things work as they're intended, when I do update, you'll be notified. All right. Oh, and as always, accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. What else? Um, Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.